Movie notes on Annapolis, 2006 film, 9 September 2024 viewing. I just finished viewing this today, Monday, 9 September 2024. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers is Seattle. And my description for this viewing of this 2006 film is, it's a fiction film about a man who works in a shipyard. He joins the United States of America Navy, going to an academy in Annapolis, where he finds a home in the military through martial arts, boxing. So he works at a shipyard building ships, and one of the things he does outside is box. It's kind of something he enjoys and finds confidence in and gets to kind of battle with his own arrogance. And then he decides to join the United States of America Navy, and once kind of at the academy, they're boxing is a form of exercise, and he decides to kind of pursue it within the confines of the United States of American Navy. So it's taking this kind of thing that used to be kind of peripheral to his work and making and integrating it into his main storyline. And this is it was inspired partially by a book I'm reading on Muhammad Ali, who's a boxer. It's an autobiography, and so I watched it, and I remembered something. I already today covered 1993 Wolf Prize in Physics that went to Benoit B. Mandelbrot, and for self-similarity structures. And this is actually a perfect example of whether or not that's kind of what they intended, the people who put it together. It's a self-similarity storyline. And what I mean by that is he starts off working in a shipyard where he's dedicated to the quality and integrity of the ship. Right? It wants to carry passengers and wants to serve those people well. And he also has this other passion of kind of making it clear he's a fighter and he's there to kind of like protect and defend kind of thing through attack and the ship. And so they actually do a really good job and go, okay, so he joins the United States of American Navy, which is a ship-going organization. But they actually enforce that as part of the storyline later. There's a scene where he and a guy he boxes and he kind of answers to, who's above him in the authority hierarchy. They have an exchange, and they're in their uniforms, and they have this wall, and there's a quote or something on it, and it's in reference to the concept of a ship, right? Because if you're out there on the water, you're there with your ship. You're there to defend each other, and you're there to defend your home, and you're there as your part of your unit is your ship. And so it's a self-similarity structure as a self the same, because if in order for him to be the same person, he would have to be building the ship. Instead, what happens is he takes the importance of the ship and it makes him similar to himself, right? He takes that concept of the ship and that being something to defend and to bring him honor, but like honor to his people, like defend his people. It's similar because it's still the ship. However, his role in relation to the ship has changed, though the meaning of the ship has not necessarily. He's there to defend the ship and his people, right? And so it's self-similar in a sense, and I thought it was a good, whether or not the people who made the storyline intended it as a self-similarity structure, it is a self-similarity structure. It's taking something and it's similar to the self, though it changes a little bit as it changes environment from the shipyard to the Navy. So there we go. And I have actually thought of that before. Back when I was watching this in like high school, so 2006 to 2010, I was like, it's a different kind of storyline in the sense of it's not about dropping everything and doing everything new. It's about kind of taking one's life and translating it and finding, this is my home, right? Like he did boxing on the side, but then when he went to the Navy, he found that boxing was still a home for him. And it helped, and the ship was still a home for him, right? He chose not only the right thing, because he gets to protect and defend, but he chose the right branch of the military because he's allowed to honor both his home in boxing and his home with the ship. in the concept of a ship. And a physical, actual ship, right? Right, because anybody can read a book and be like, I like ships. It's different if one has work experience actually building one and then, you know, serves in the military on a ship. Or working towards that, right? Like he's working to be an officer, so going through the academy. So there we go. And the main character's name is Heward. And so that's the one with the box. There's a scene in here where there's an envelope addressed to him, and it says Heward, but it looks like the spelling, when the handwriting makes it looks like it's Heard, H-E-A-R-D. Not to be confused with Amber Heard, but it was like one of those scenes growing up where it's like, or like, oh, Heard, you know, the people who have sloppy handwriting or read things sloppily are going to interpret it as Heard, not actually put two together that it actually says Heward because that's the name of the character. It's like, watch somebody with a woman with the name Heard and James Franco, who's the Heward character, end up in a movie together because of that. It looks like Heard, and people didn't go, wait, it's actually Heward because that's the name of the character. And sure enough, they were in a movie together, The Adderall Diaries, which I think have I done a movie notes video on? I think I have. Research. Yeah, I have. Back in June of this year, June 2024. So there we go. There's a interesting to come full circle of, yeah, that did play out, didn't it? And it might be because of the handwriting on an envelope in this movie that they were in a movie together. Subconscious forcings of that personality type. I'm not that personality type. I'm the PDA, where my man is, instead of public displays of affection towards me, he's public displays of aggression towards me. So, yeah. Well, so then I'm PDD, public displays of defense. And it, oddly enough, works. Maybe it doesn't work in the United States of America, but I don't know. Anyway, like that might be a norm outside of America. Based on my experience outside of the United States of America, is that true? Yes. Okay. So, like, that's a type, yes. And it's a stable, healthy, love-fueled type. Love-filled type, yes. There we go. Anyway, so my movie notes on Annapolis 2006 film, 9 September 2024 viewing.